Are you looking to grow your dental practice and attract top-tier new patients? Discover the potential of digital marketing with a personalized strategy session. Join Lila Stone, the marketing director at Equa, for an exclusive 90-minute consultation. Lila and her team will dedicate 6 hours before your meeting to create a customized marketing plan specifically for your practice. This valuable opportunity is free of charge and comes with no commitments. Visit www.insuranceuntangledorg/MSM to schedule your meeting with Lila today. You'll also receive a free analysis report so you can start transforming your practice through the power of digital marketing.
You are now listening to another episode of the Insurance Untangled podcast, where we explore the various challenges faced by dental practices due to their reliance on insurance. Join us in this podcast as we dive deep into the issues surrounding dental insurance dependence and offer practical solutions and strategies to help you take control of your practice's financial future.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Insurance Untangled podcast. My name is Ben Tuinei, and I'm one of the co-hosts on this podcast. And as everybody knows, we've taken a little bit of a break over the last few months, mostly just to kind of reorganize and revamp. We all have busy lives. Tessina and I have multiple jobs. And by the way, please meet our new podcast host, Tessina. Tessina's with us today, and we're going to be chatting about some fun PPO fee negotiating stuff. And but I just wanted to kind of outline the format for our podcast moving forward. So we're going to, Tessina and I are going to be the main hosts. We are going to bring in co-hosts from time to time to fill in. Naren will hop in with us from time to time. But our goal is to have guests that understand the realm of insurance, right? And provide very direct content with regards to how insurance companies operate from every angle, right? Credentialing all the way down to appealing denied claims. Today, we're diving into a topic that directly impacts everybody's profitability, at least those that are in network with insurance. But it's one area that often gets overlooked, mostly because dental practices are very busy. Every position in a dental practice has multiple jobs, multiple roles. We want to talk about this whole art of negotiating PPO fees. So we all know that, there's a trend of going out of network these days among a lot of doctors, but there's still many that are still in network with a lot of PPO plans. And there are a lot of doctors that don't know that there's room for improvement and that they can negotiate. So that's the purpose of this episode, is to sort of take an approach to negotiations from a strategic standpoint, if you will, in a way that will help you increase your revenue without necessarily increasing volume, right? So, Tessina.
Yes, hello.
I don't think you need any introduction. You've already been on so many different webinars. I think every webinar that we've done on Insurance Untangled, you've been on those. So I think
I'm honored.
Yes, everybody knows you. So we'll just dive right into the questions here. Why do you think I shouldn't say most. I think most practices these days are definitely trying to find ways to improve revenue, right? And PPO negotiations, if they know, a lot of people try, right? But why do you think a lot of practices don't negotiate or don't attempt to negotiate regularly?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because, you and I, we field these questions every day. An office will call and they're like, we need to negotiate our fees. We know that it's been, 10 years sometimes since the last time they've looked at their fees. And the number one reason I think we hear is that they're really busy. They're overwhelmed and they have so many tasks going on. They don't really know how to go about it. Or when they've tried, it hasn't been very successful. So they feel defeated. And so finally they reach out and just say, like, what do we do? But the biggest issue or the biggest downfall is they're really not realizing how much money they're actually leaving on the table by not doing those negotiations every 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love what you said there. I guess those are things that I haven't really thought about. And they're valid points, and it kind of leads me to the next question here. I guess this is motivated by what listeners might be thinking. Those that have tried, not gotten fee increases. Next natural question is it actually even possible to get higher fee schedules or reimbursements from insurance companies? Do you want to kind of speak on that for a minute?
Yeah. Sorry, say that question again then.
So there's a lot of practices that don't believe you can get fee increases.
Yes.
So I guess the question is it even possible to get higher fees from insurance companies?
Yes, 100%. So when you talk to an insurance company and just say like, hey, I want higher fees, or do you guys negotiate? Their answer is going to be no. Does that mean that they don't negotiate? No, it doesn't. It means that you don't have the proper knowledge or tactics or leverage to know how to engage effective negotiations.
Right. Kind of like what you do on the insurance verification side. I remember when we were starting that company, you had mentioned that, when you call insurance representatives, you have to have good phone skills because they're intentionally going to want to limit the amount of data that they're going to share with you, right? And so if you understand how to overcome those objections and, those lines of questioning, like somebody that has experience that knows that would get so further along on those calls than somebody that's getting into it that doesn't have any guidance. And I guess that's a good example. A lot of people in dental practices that don't do the negotiations every day just don't even know where to start, right? So when it comes to just negotiation, like at least the preparation side of things, what do you think every practice should know before entering into negotiations with insurance?
Yeah, there's definitely probably a couple of things that I would mention here. First and foremost, I talk about this a lot, is knowing your office fees and making sure you're always billing out those full office fees. Offices don't understand the role that their office fees play in their negotiations. Tracking and understanding the write-offs as well, how much write-offs you're taking per insurance company. We need to evaluate that relationship with each of those PPOs. And also check profitability, right? How much is that insurance company benefiting your practice, or is it actually harming your practice? Not all PPOs are equal. This is another thing, right? Some are worth keeping, others are not. Having that non-emotional assessment to decide if this is a good business relationship to have. This insurance company is saying, hey, we're doing the marketing for you. At a 50% write-off, please don't market for me. That's not a good marketing percentage.
Right.
Right. And then preparing everything in place, having those numbers ahead of time, how many patients you have on those plans, what your write-offs are looking like. Is this a good relationship you're willing to keep or not willing to keep? When you go into that negotiation phase, you want that leverage to show that to them, that they're not benefiting their relationship isn't benefiting your practice, and you are prepared to go out of network if those fees are not reasonable to change the relationship.
Now, before we continue on, I have a quick message on behalf of our sponsor here. So much of what Tessina just walked us through, knowing your write-offs, evaluating each PPO relationship, understanding what leverage actually looks like, that all starts with someone taking an honest look at where your practice currently stands. If you're listening in and thinking, I'm not sure we've ever done that properly, be sure to book a practice audit session with Echo Marketing through our website, insuranceuntangled.com/MSM. I'll repeat that one more time, Insurance Untangled, that's one word, .com/MSM. It's designed to help practices uncover exactly where their opportunities are hiding and build a clear strategy from there. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
Wonderful. Great answer there. I think that's pretty good guidance in terms of how to view these things. And I guess, the final question that I have is regarding impact, right? I hear, just like what you said, a lot of doctors, they don't negotiate. In fact, I had a call earlier this morning, and a doctor had mentioned that the reason why he never negotiated is because all of his colleagues said that they tried and they didn't get anywhere, at least around him, And so this is also the same mindset of dental practices that don't submit buildups, because once they start to get those denials, it's like, oh man, those are messing with our numbers, so we're just not going to submit them when we do them anymore. Not knowing that you can get paid on every single last one of them,
Yeah.
So it's a function of knowledge and understanding. So in terms of impact, what kind of impact are you seeing successful practices? Well, practices that either hire a company or do it on their own and do it successfully. What do you see in terms of an impact for those practices?
Yeah, the impact is huge. It can be a big game changer. Even if you get a small increase, and this can be a 3% increase, obviously our goal is to try to shoot a lot higher for that. But there are some insurance companies that really restrict that. But even that results in tens of thousands of additional revenue per year, right? And then you're also changing the bar, you're raising the bar. So all of these reimbursement rates are being reported to the other insurance companies. They're discussing this together. They're saying, here's where the bar is at. These doctors are saying that this fee schedule is an acceptable fee schedule. This reimbursement rate is an acceptable reimbursement rate. When you say yes to those fees, you're saying you're happy with those fees. So getting those increases, even small over time, but staying on top of it every year, every 2 years, pushing for those increases, raising that bar, showing the insurance companies that those reimbursement rates need to be higher or you're not willing to stay. That changes long-term in a big way.
Absolutely. And many practices are growing out of network these days to where it's called the takeaway approach, right? When you're talking to an individual that's interested in something, and then you take away the option for them to even have it. It's the concept that people are more willing to want what they cannot have, right? Just it's a point of pride. It's like, now that you're saying that I can't have it, I'm going to want it, like give it to me. So great points there, Tessina. I would say as we're kind of wrapping this up, and again, folks, I'm sorry, I probably didn't mention this to our listeners. We're going to keep these podcast episodes short. We're just going to get straight to the point and be very punchy and give tips and advice in these areas. So in closing, the whole world of PPO negotiations has become very complicated these days. It is not easy. In fact, you do see a lot of insurance companies issuing fee increases. And if you don't read through all the fine print, it says you're locked into not negotiating for 3 years. Oh, and then that insurance company has the right to lower your fees in 12 months. And they will, if you're not reading that. They're inserting language about you agreeing to not negotiate or terminate in your re-credentialing. So pay attention to those things and always maintain, always review everything that you sign with these insurance companies, because the game is getting more complicated and they are trying hard not to negotiate, right? So Tessina, what's some final takeaways that you want to share with the listeners today?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, if you're not negotiating your PPO fees, then you're accepting less than what your practice is worth. So get started right away. Start with that data, build your strategy, get that leverage, and take those first steps in reaching out to the correct people to contact, which start with the provider relations or ask for the network recruitment, and then just start that process there and you'll find your way through it.
Wonderful. Love it, Tessina. Great advice today. Appreciate you on this sort of rebrand episode with Insurance Untangled podcast as we're entering a new phase of our podcast, trying to create different themes, different topics, as well as shorter episodes to accommodate a lot of you that have requested episodes under 20 minutes. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So if you want a clear breakdown of what we covered today, including an approach on how PPO fee negotiations can be implemented step by step, visit our website, insuranceuntangledcom/resources, and you can download the episode guide there as well. So, for us, it's not about giving you information. We want to give you resources so that there's value with you being a listener of our podcast. So thank you again for joining us today on another amazing episode of this podcast, Insurance Untangled, that is. Check out the website, insuranceuntangledcom, for all the things that we're offering, including our upcoming webinars that we host every quarter. You can visit our Facebook, we're on Facebook as well, Insurance Untangled, or YouTube, where you can see the video version of this recording. Until we meet again next time, folks, we wish you all the very best of success. Take care now.